Hi folks, and welcome to the Fimbulmög channel, and this time not from the forest but from the kitchen. And what I'm going to show you today is how I make an ointment out of the resin I harvested last time. Maybe it's interesting to you that I keep my resin in this little brown apothecary's jar, which I interestingly found in the forest in an old dumpster site, and well, came with this lid, fits perfectly, and keeps the UV light out of my resin, so it doesn't lose its properties. If you want to make pitch salve or resin salve, better yet, because it isn't pitch yet, you need to keep in mind that all the ingredients are really flammable, so take extra care. I use a pot with a little bit of water to heat up my ingredients. It doesn't need to be really hot or boiling. I bring it up to a boil now, all the while I'm talking and showing you what's in it. And I got this little glass jar, which is perfectly okay, because you don't need to boil it. You just need to melt the ingredients together. Talking of which is I got some beeswax, and it's not from candles, it is directly from my apiary, and I already prepared it. I have my trusty friction folder on me, a little spoon just to distribute the stuff, and maybe you can see that. You can see I got a blob of resin already prepared, and carved some shavings of the beeswax. And you can add other ingredients too. I like to put in clove oil and sage and mugwort and or something like that. But it is more versatile if it is more simple, and I thought I'd show you the basic stuff first. And what I also have is some olive oil, which is the better quality you can get, the better it is, because you don't want some shit in your ointment that might irritate your skin even more. And unfortunately, some frying oils are rather not what anyone wants in his body anyway. But that's another topic. I don't want spare you the rant. If you want to look further into the topic, please go to pubmed.gov. I will put a link into the description where you can find studies, actual studies on the medicinal properties of pitch ointment, resin salve, and something like that. So it's not altogether household mythology or something, folk medicine, but it is also a thing with where, well, pharmaceutical properties are well documented. Enough said. Making the ointment is that simple. I just take my jar, put in my beeswax shavings, like that. Well, then I make little blobs from the big blob. and distribute it rather as evenly as possible, because they will melt faster. And yeah, and that's about it. So I put in the beeswax shavings and the resin first, because then I can better estimate how much oil I will need. I won't fill up the jar all to the brim. As a rule of thumb, you can say, you can, well, depends on what you want to do with it. If you want a rather sticky salve, use more resin, but for medicinal purposes, 10% would be more than enough. On the other hand, if you want it a little bit stickier, to well, to put on plaster that doesn't stick, such as makeshift band-aids from birch polypore or from tinder conch, which is also suitable for making band-aids, and has medicinal properties of its own. And then this would be the way to go to make it rather sticky, or use the resin as is. What I do now is just I pour my olive oil into the jar. An interesting thing is that the resin and the beeswax are oil soluble. So if you would just put in the beeswax shavings and the pitch, or the resin in that case, and would stir every 3 days or something, it would dissolve on its own. And but it's just faster if you're doing it this way. I then put it into my water. I can put on some mild heat, but it actually isn't possible. It isn't necessary. And just take care, have a lid handy, in order to, if it goes up in flames, which isn't going to happen at these temperatures. It's not going to happen. But keep it handy, because the better safe than sorry is what I'm saying. And taking my little spoon, I stir my concoction and see to that it is dissolving. Maybe I should show you this, how it looks. It's just doesn't. I'm not just that accustomed to doing this, and I have next to no technology, so also got the tremors. Like that, see? I'm so put you back where you belong. So, and you can actually look at the residue on your spoon. It's better that you, if you want to keep control of it, please don't forget stirring. It makes the whole thing a lot more controllable. As I said, it doesn't need to, the concoction doesn't need to boil. It just needs some heat to dissolve. So I have now put my oven on, set my oven on one. It's not, the water is boiling, but actually, and you can see that the bigger blobs are taking longer to dissolve, of course, and so it's best you make all your ingredients rather small. The smaller they are, the easier they will dissolve. Now it's a matter of time. A little. You have to wait a little, just until everything is nice and fine. You can have a look at your ingredients all the while, even though watch kettle never boils, as someone told me. You can also, if you want, because it's a little bit of give and take, because this is not a really, this ointment will not be used by myself for severe wounds or something. I get disinfection and octinisept and stuff like that for that, but it is for skin irritations. It's just superficial, it's not for a wound, so I don't have to be that thorough with the measurements. And if you want to treat wounds with that, that's a whole different matter, and I strongly suggest, well, don't try it at home. It's no laughing matter. I know how chronic wounds look, and while this ointment is also reputed by several studies as being very beneficial for chronic infections of wounds, like ulcus cura and something like that, there's also a lot of stuff that can go wrong. So please play safe. If you get a deep wound, go visit a doctor, get it stitched. Don't mess around with household items or what you think is proper medicine. Well, it's a bit of a controversial thing, because while I strongly believe that natural medicine is rather underrepresented in our modern medicine, factual medicine, it's a whole different matter if you go to, if you're talking academics here. At a university, there's a lot of research going on towards medicinal properties of natural remedies, folk medicine, and stuff. It is simply not true that big medicine would deny the effectivity of folk medicine or something like that. It researches it. It is science, and if something works, it works, and if it doesn't work, well, then it doesn't work, and you don't want to use anything that doesn't work because, well, your grandmother ate cow dung. If it doesn't work, if it's bad for you, don't do it. Just be sensible. I strongly believe in the middle way. It's not that, it's always the extremes. You can use this ointment with good success if you get rashes, if you get irritations, if you get blisters. Not for the blister itself, but when the blister opened and you need to treat the irritation from the blister, or as a nice smelling. I think it smells nice. Um, a nice smelling ointment for if you worked hard for your hands, if you just want to do some skincare. Um, that's pretty good for that. That's also if you get a cough or something. This is really agreeable to um, or you get sneezing all the time and your nose is irritated. It's really good to smell it um, if you got a cold. Just nice, but don't expect it to work wonders. If you get something serious, go visit a doctor. So that's something I find important. Um, what is effective in the ointment are on the one hand the saccharides and sugars in the beeswax. Um, the essential oils in the olive oil, and in the resin it is polysaccharides and terpenoids. This is rather self-explanatory because turpentine is we are all well acquainted with turpentine, and turpentine and coliformium are the products from spruce, fir, or pine resin. Spruce, fir, and pine resin work equally well for pitch ointment, and also because of the same, every coniferous plant works for that, except something like yew, obviously, because yew is poisonous in the first, and so don't use it. Yew is poisonous, or better, it is toxic. This is a very difficult matter because you can use preparations from yew, but don't tell everyone Uncle Fimbulmilk said you should eat yew berries or bark or something. That's not how it works. You need very sophisticated chemistry that you can't do in the kitchen anymore, in order to make preparations from alkaloidic plants like yew. So it's just the same as if it were poisonous and if it were toxic for human consumption. It is. Enough said. So don't. As I said, there are preparations, but those are chemically modified preparations which isolate certain ingredients of the plant. So, as I said, normally with my possibilities, this isn't possible to make anything useful from it. So don't do it. So I talked enough because all the ingredients have nicely dissolved. If you want to do, if you want to go the extra length, you can strain it through a sieve or something, a piece of cheesecloth or something, to make it really clean. As I said, it doesn't bother me much, so it is just an ointment for skin irritations, and resin is antibacterial, antiviral, and antiseptic. Well, it's the same. Well, you don't need to disinfect it because it's disinfectant. It's the way it works. All that's left now is waiting for it to cool down. And in order to do this, you can take a piece of cloth or something, or a glove. Glove would be best, and take it out. Put it on somewhere on a cold surface, and well, you can also, I got this vacuum lid on the little jar, and I already put the lid on. A bit hot, and I put it upside down. So that you can remove the air from the jar, which is you can also cook it afterwards. I sterilized the jar beforehand, obviously, because that is what you are doing. Well, I put it away, and yeah, I hope that was helpful to you. And if you get your hands all sticky, which didn't happen to me, you can also test it, the residues, if the consistency is well, and that's good. If you smell that is really good. But if you get your hands all sticky with resin, good thing is that they are oil soluble. It's also a thing if your knife get all sticky and stuff, like that. And a folding knife always is a little bit pain in the ass if you closed the blade back on and got all that resin in the handle. It's just, I'm not taking the olive oil because it's rather expensive. I am taking well, good old Balistol. Balistol is really awesome, and I just put a little bit of oil on the blade, and just like that, and you can use your cloth to wipe it clean, because the beeswax and the resin are dissolved by the oil. Well, wipe it clean, and in order not to have your pockets all oily, you can use a towel or something, just to wipe it clean from the oil too. And that doesn't remove all the oil on the blade, which is a good thing, because this is obviously a carbon steel blade, and well, it's an extra layer of rust protection. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video, and well, if you get ideas about that, let me know in the comments. I like a sub and a like, just like the next guy, so please contemplate. I got a lot of ideas for the future. Maybe the content will come quite irregularly. Yeah, you know, it's quite late, and until next time, and I wish you nice holidays, regardless of what you are celebrating, and have fun, take care, and see you next time.